So you can see we've got several different sizes of clamp. We've got some cheap dollar store clamps, some of these F-style clamps as well. I'm just going to put them all on the same rack. This is going to be a 2-for-1. We're going to build a rack that's going to go up there on the wall. We're going to hang our clamps from the bottom, and on the top is going to be a slanted shelf where we line up all of our chargers on the top. So how do we know how wide our rack needs to be? Well, an easy way to do that is I'm just going to grab a piece of 2x4, something that I can just kind of attach all these clamps to on my workbench, see how much space it takes up. So let's do that now. Now we can take a look at how much space that uses. Looks like we're about 23 inches or so. And as you can see, I really don't have that many clamps, but I do plan on getting more clamps soon. So I kind of want to double this up. So I think we're going to go for something about 48 inches wide. I'm going to do a 4-foot wide rack, and that should give us room for expansion here. Now, obviously for your shop, you do what you need for however many clamps you have. Real quick, I just wanted to show you guys. I thought this was kind of funny. I was not expecting this. I mean, it makes sense, but was not expecting it. Like I said, this is not that many clamps, but that's pretty freaking heavy. Like that's probably 50 pounds right there. We're going to make sure we make this strong so it doesn't come off the wall. All right, so I've actually got several pieces of plywood, scrap of various widths and lengths, and I'm going to go through my scrap pile here and find the pieces that I can use to build this out. But I'll have a segment here in a moment where I tell you, or maybe I'll show it on the screen, what the dimensions for each piece are going to be, and then we'll get to ripping and cutting and making all of our parts. So I found some scrap pieces. I've got a little bit of a plan in my head. There's going to be some different thicknesses of plywood for this, but it doesn't really matter. Obviously, if you went out and bought a full sheet of plywood, that solves your problem with the different thicknesses. But I've got a lot of scraps I want to use up. They're just sitting around my shop doing nothing. And so we're going to put them to use. I'm going to get to cutting, do a quick montage, and I'll see you when I've got all the parts cut out. All right, so what I've done so far is cut out our 2 end pieces, and this is a 10-degree angle off of the back. These are 11 inches wide. Did a 45 bevel here just to reduce the weight a bit. Our top, what I've done is ran it to the table saw. This is also 11 inches wide, and I put a 10-degree bevel on the front and the back just to match the front face. And you know what? We're actually going to take another 1/4 inch off of the width of these. I'm going to do it off of the short side. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off of that because I didn't account for the 1/8 inch loss on the bevel on both sides. So now these are a little too wide. So let's fix that now. Let's go back to 0. Now we've ripped a 1/4 inch off of these on the shorter section there. That puts us at 10 3/4 for the width on these, which lines up perfectly on our pieces here. Sometimes I'd just rather not do math, okay? And so to get around doing math, I'm just going to take my 2 end pieces here. I'm going to put them together. I'm going to line them up to the edge of my board. And that's going to give me the ability to put a mark here so that now I can literally measure from the other end of the board to that mark, get a measurement, 46 5/8. And that's what we're going to cut our 2x4 to. All right, we've got our 2x4 cut to length, and we can check it by just laying it on our board. making sure that we can put our end pieces on, lined up to the outside edge, and that we're not hanging over, and that's perfect. Right here. So here's the cutoff from when I ripped the top down. This is what was left over. I'm going to end up ripping a 3-inch or 3.5-inch wide piece off of this, and the thickness on this piece for me is 5/8. What we may as well go ahead and do is cut our back piece now to length and rip it and attach it first. That'll actually give us some stability and have it kind of framed up and together for when we go to screw the 2x4s in from the side. So let me do that now. All right, so that's got our back cut to length. Now I'm going to rip it down to 3.5 inches wide. Now I got my 3.5-inch wide strip. I'm going to leave that out of my way. Get my nail gun. I'm just using a brad nailer with some 1.5-inch brad nails. Grab my glue. All right, we've got our backer on. Now I'm going to put my 2x4 in this orientation and line it up to where the top of it is lined up with that 5-inch mark. And I'm not going to brad nail this. I'm going to use 2-inch deck screws to secure this from the sides. Sorry, I meant 2-inch drywall screws. Now, it puts us in this fun, lovely position where we can apply glue and brad nail our top on. Okay. Now, put our top up there. Our front corner lined up. What I'm going to do just to make sure that the backer there is connected to this well enough to stay together and support the weight. I'm going to use more drywall screws and secure the backer to the sides from the outside edge here, just like we did with the 2x4. Now, because that backer is plywood and I don't want it to split when I put these screws in, I'm going to use this countersink bit here. It's less about countersinking the screws in and more about just kind of pre-drilling that hole with a bit that is going to match the shank size of our screws. So I actually need to change this out to the next smallest one I got. All right, and then our finishing touch here is we're going to cut. I've got another bit of scrap left from where I made this backer, and I'm going to cut a 1-inch wide strip off of this. It's already cut to 46 5/8 like this one is. So I know it's not too long to go on the top. It's going to leave, 5/8 of an inch on each side of a gap, but that's okay. This is going to be a strip that we're going to put on the top on the front lip of the shelf so that the chargers and stuff we put up there don't slide off the front. Now, you don't really have to do this, but I did go ahead and rip it with a 10-degree bevel on one side. That's the side I'm going to put on the front lip just so that it has a nice 90-degree perspective to the viewer. I'm just going to run a bead of glue all the way down the bottom of the strip. I'm going to grab a clamp. A couple of them. Set it up here like so. And that'll just be a helping hand, help keep it in place while we get it brad nailed. I don't know if these are going to be in the way or not, but I'd rather not accidentally bump them and knock them down. So we're going to take sticker board down for a minute. Just a couple to hold it for now. Let me grab the level. Bring this one down a little bit. Hey, over here. Did you know that 87% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel? What are you waiting for? Click the button down below, subscribe to the channel. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button or thumbs down if you don't like it. That's okay too. And let me know that I'm doing good. That also tells YouTube that we're doing a good job and gets our videos out to more people. While you're there, leave a comment down below and say squeeze somewhere in your comment so I know you actually watched the video. All right, have a good day. Well, there you have it, folks. We did a clamp storage rack with a shelf on top for us to put all of our battery chargers, get those up out of the way. Now, both of those things have a home in the shop. This is something, even with filming, it only took me maybe 2 hours to do. So you could probably knock this out in 30 to 45 minutes if you're just getting out there and getting to building. So I'll give you a little close-up view. I did make a little mistake and I used some brad nails that were a little bit too long when I put that strip on the front, but it's shop furniture. I can live with that. I don't really care. And it's not somewhere where I'm going to constantly be putting my hands, so it's not really going to cut me or anything. But just make sure you're using the correct size brad nails if you care about that.